Come and put them away.
I walked carefully.
I could see that. Tiny little steps, yeah. You kept your head very still. That's important.
Mine didn't fall either. I dropped a bit.
It's been easier though, isn't it? Let's all sit down, and Georgie, you come up to the table. I'll put the mask over your eyes and you've got to guess what I put in your hands, okay? Would you like to see the things first, or would you just like to feel them? Okay. I won't show anyone. I'll hide them in there. Close your eyes. Now, nobody's allowed to whisper, and you're not allowed to peek, okay? No peeking? You can have a look, Thomas. Have a look. Hear all that noise?
A pig.
Certainly is. What colour is it?
Yellow.
It's sort of a yellowy orange, isn't it? Yeah. Good girl. Come on, Andrew. Close your eyes. Hands out. That's it.
Scissors.
They are. These scissors are special ones. Got nice round edges, and of course they're our safety scissors, aren't they? They won't hurt you. Hear me?
Coat hanger.
Certainly is. What's this part here? Coat hanger.
Hanger.
That's the handle, isn't it? And this part down here, they're the shoulders. Coat hanger. Whose clothes would you put on that one?
Baby's
Baby's,
clothes.
yeah, baby's coat hanger. Okay, Thomas, no peeking in there. You can stay on this. Oh, he's looking straight ahead. He's not going to peek. Close your eyes. You feel that there? That there? Now, you wind something round here, round that part. It's not there anymore. Mum has them if she's going to sew. Hold it.
Wool thing.
You're nearly right. Not a wool thing, but it's a cotton thing, isn't it? Have a little look. What is it? Do you know? Do you know what we call this?
Cotton.
Cotton reel, that's right, cotton reel. Pretty hard when you can't see it. Alison. Hide them. Come around this side.
A battery.
It certainly is. Good girl. Now, last turn. Come on, Flo. Better be careful of that painting. You can just put it there. Do you see? Close your eyes. Hands out. Better feel up here too.
A brush.
Certainly is. What do we use that brush for?
Sweeping the floor.
You usually have a little dustpan with it, don't you? Yeah. Right, move your things up to the top of the table like that. Put these up here too. Put these up here. And we'll get the boys to take the mats, and the girls can come and get the cups. Andrew, do you want to take these? Thanks, Georgie. Andrew, this one's for you. See? Let's say a special thank you. For our family, our friends and food, we say thank you. Can't you go, Thomas? Hold on.
That's not the way.
Thanks, Lauren. Excuse me, Thomas. We'll be back in a minute. We've got some other games for you, so don't go away. For your animals. Put him in his old clothes, and you better have some boots, I think. Could be a little bit boggy, don't you think, down by the pigsty? There's some new lambs there. Put them over to get same side. That's the girl.
Black lamb.
There's another white one. You better keep the dog over the other side. We don't want them chasing the lambs. Where are you going to put the bull?
The bull there.
Okay. You keep him away from the horse. And the ducks and the chickens can go together with the lambs over this side. Little black chicken. And there's a little red hen.
Flying up in here.
Up there, all right. You fit the flowers in somewhere? Oh, we better put Willie's boot back on.
The flowers.
Right there, okay. Which animals do you think Willie likes best? He seems to be very close to those little lambs, doesn't he? Hmm? Chickens and ducks, horses and cows, and of course every farm has a dog. Willie's enjoying his day down at the farm. Well, I think we're going to have a look at a special sound. Thank you, Alison. You can sit down now and we'll have a look at our picture dictionary together. You listen to these words: money, mat, mask, marble, matches. What do they start with? Quite right. Look at the board and you'll see that sound, What letter is it? Letter M, and it says These are the two ways that we write it. Capital, lowercase, big M and little m. They both say the same thing. They say...
I do those little lambs.
Do you? When we're first learning to write, we usually use the little ones, don't we? This is the capital. If your name starts with that one there, you always have to have a capital at the beginning. Let's see what starts with Do you know what that is there? It's picking up nails. It's a magnet. There's a map, there's a match, medicine, man, mask, meat, mermaid, manger, mat, medal, and mirror. all start with You say them for me. Are you ready? Magnet, map, match, medicine, man, mask, meat, mermaid, manger, mat, medal, and mirror. Close your eyes now. Think of the ones that you've seen. Call them out to me. Manger, man, mask, meat, match, magnet, mirror, man. What was the girl's name with the tail? The fish tail? Mermaid, that's it. I think we've said them all now. Have another look. Say them, this time louder. Magnet, map, match, medicine, man, mask, meat, mermaid, manger, mat, medal, and mirror. Close your eyes again. Call out some more.
Medal. Man.
Man.
Mask. Medal.
Medal, manger, mask, man.
The maid.
Maid. Mermaid. Forgotten one. Something that you like to eat.
Meat.
Meat. Something that you sit on.
Manger.
Mat. Mat's there. Okay. Open up your eyes. Look at this page. We've got some money. Moth, monkey, mountain, moon, mouse. Let's say that. Money, moth, monkey, mountain, moon, mouse. Close your eyes. Say them.
Mouse.
Monkey.
Mountain.
Mountain.
Moth.
Moth.
Money.
Moon.
Mouse.
And the little one? Tiny little grey one. Mouse. Very good. And what's the one that looks a bit like a butterfly?
Moth.
Moth. Okay. Money, moth, monkey, mountain, moon, and mouse. These are the ones that I found at home. What are they? Matches. This one? Magnets. Yes. Money. Mirror. What's that? What is it? You eat it. Mum has to cook it first.
Corn.
Not corn. Looks a bit like shells. It's called macaroni. That's what it is. Macaroni, yeah.
I was really going to say that.
Marble and mask. Right, let's say them again. Matches, magnet, money, mirror, macaroni, marble, and mask. Very clever. Okay, we're going to do some singing now.
I've got a mask.
Let's sing about Old MacDonald. Let's go to the other chairs first. Andrew, shall we sing about the ducks first of all? Old MacDonald had a farm, and on that farm he had some ducks. Let's get our duck ready to quack.
Quack, quack.
Feet together. Ready, please, Mr. Music. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a duck, E-I-E-I-O. With a quack, quack here and a quack, quack there. Here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack, quack. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. What else lives on the farm?
Pig.
Pig, okay. What does he say?
Oink.
Oink, oink. Let me hear them. Ready, please, Mr. Music. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O. With an oink, oink here and an oink, oink there. Here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink, oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. What's the next one you'd like to sing about?
Bull.
A bull, what's he say? Funny noise, cranky noise. We'll do a cranky moo. That's right. Like that. As loud as you can. Ready, please, Mr. Music. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a bull, E-I-E-I-O. Moo, moo, moo. cookies. Can you make that gobble gobble sound?
Gobble, gobble,
Gobble, gobble,
gobble,
gobble.
gobble,
That's
gobble, gobble, gobble.
Ready, please, Mr. Music. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Excuse me. E-I-E-I-O. With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there. Here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. I think you might see some donkeys down on the farm. E-oh, e-oh. Let's hear those donkeys. Ready, please, Mr. Music. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a donkey, E-I-E-I-O. E-oh, 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 e-oh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Now it's time for our clapping song. Clap really loudly. Now softly. That's all you have to do. Roll your hands, and then it's time for your toes, softly and then loudly. I like this song. Ready, please, Mr. Music. Get those hands clapping. Clapping, clapping, softly clap.
Clapping, clapping, softly clap. Clapping, clapping, clap, clap, clap. Rolling over, so. Now get ready, off we go. Clapping, clapping, softly clap. Clapping, clapping, clap, clap, clap.
Bit louder.
Clapping, clapping, loudly clap. Clapping, clapping, clap, clap, clap. Roll them over, so. Now get ready, off we go. Clapping, clapping, loudly clap. Clapping, clapping, clap, clap, clap.
Clapping, clapping, softly clap.
Tapping, tapping, softly tap. Tapping, tapping, tap, tap, tap. Roll them over, so. Now get ready, off we go. Tapping, tapping, softly tap. Tapping, tapping, tap, tap, tap. Tapping, tapping, loudly tap. Tapping, tapping, tap, tap, tap. Roll them over, so. Now get ready, off we go. Tapping, tapping, loudly tap. Tapping, tapping, tap, tap, tap.
Loud as you can. It's a nice, bright, happy song, isn't it? We've been talking about the farm today and being in the country, and our story's called Florian and Tractor Max. They aren't really very good friends. Deep in the country, where the land is as flat as a dinner plate, Farmer Klaus and his dapple grey horse ploughed the fields. Florian pulled the plough and Farmer Klaus pushed. They trudged over the field and the plough dug furrow after furrow. But by nightfall, the field was still only half ploughed. Oh, well, Florian, sighed Farmer Klaus. We have both grown old, but tomorrow Tractor Max is coming. He's young and strong and everything will be different. He will work for both of us and you'll be able to eat grass and clover in the meadow all day. Won't that be splendid? Florian neighed and jumped about in his stable like a young colt, and that night he dreamed of a red tractor called Max, who became his very good friend. Early next morning, there was a rattling and a banging in the farmyard, and there stood Tractor Max. Florian's excited, a new friend. He was magnificent. He was big and red and puffed thick clouds of exhaust. All the animals marvelled at him, but Tractor Max tuned away. He clattered out of the yard and began to work. He had soon ploughed 3 big fields as well as 1 small one. Florian was so excited he couldn't eat. With his ears pricked, he waited all day for Max. And at last Max came. He roared across the yard, rattled through the barn door, swept past Florian, puffing a very loud and very black smoke in his face. "Pfft," he said, cluttered into a corner and clattered, and finally stood still, so still that the mice couldn't be heard. Very quiet. Look, not a sound were they making. Florian neighed and shook his mane. He trotted up to Tractor Max and nudged him with his soft nose, but Max turned away. Florian went slowly back to his place, ate a little hay, and waited for the next evening. But the same thing happened. Tractor Max wasn't going to be Florian's friend. The days passed and Florian watched Max at work, but he was unhappy. He had no appetite for fresh grass or clover. "Don't be upset," said the farmer. "Don't worry about Max." He scratched Florian between the ears and patted his neck and gave him some sugar. That helped a little. Then spring was over and summer came and went. It grew colder and Florian stayed in his stable. When winter came, the snow was deep, the sun shone pale as the moon, and there was no light in the barn. Tractor Max worked outside, pulling the tall tree trunks out of the woods. But when Farmer Klaus went off to feed the animals, Florian's day was sad and lonely. Snow's coming now, it's getting colder. Tractor Max is working. On the 21st of March, spring began. This is in the Northern Hemisphere. But it was not a very pretty spring. It rained every day. The ground became muddy and soft, and Tractor Max could no longer plough. 37 days it rained. Then the west wind tore great blue holes in the grey sky, and the sun broke through the clouds. "Toot, toot!" hooted Tractor Max as he bumped into the yard. "Stop!" shouted Farmer Klaus. "Stop, Max! Don't go into the field yet. It's much too wet." But Tractor Max blustered past him and out into the field. Max ploughed. The ground was wet and spongy and the soil stuck to the wheels in great thick lumps. Tractor Max puffed. He could hardly move at all. Suddenly he was stuck fast. His wheels turned fast, faster, faster, faster. The lumps of soil scattered and the engine roared, but still he didn't move. He went into reverse gear. He whined and rattled and blustered, but still the wheels wouldn't turn. Then the dark clouds turned and it began to rain. Water ran into the engine and stopped. It was dark as night and Tractor Max sank deeper and deeper into the ground, right over his wheels. He's stuck, isn't he? Bogged. Farmer Klaus sat in his warm house eating his favourite food, potatoes, carrots and peas. His cat, Me, sat beside him, purring and licking his milky nose. Suddenly Me pricked up her ears and Farmer Klaus dropped his fork. Florian is neighing. They ran out of the house and there stood Florian, listening excitedly. Farmer Klaus heard a soft hooting coming from the fields. "Thunder and lightning!" cried Farmer Klaus, whistling through his teeth. "It's Max! He's stuck fast!" He quickly fetched a rope from the barn. "Florian!" he shouted. "You've got to help!" Florian neighed and Leo the dog barked. Off they ran as fast as their legs would go. They raced across the meadow, through the big puddle, past the poplar trees, over the hedges and ditches to the very last field. There stood Max. He was deep in the mud and hooting more and more hoarsely and softly. Florian nudged him gently with his nose and neighed and snorted. "I hope this will do," muttered Farmer Klaus, scratching his head. First he uncoupled the plough, then he tied one end of the rope to Max with a big knot and the other end to Florian with another big knot. And then Florian pulled. "Heave, heave, heave!" And he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled. Plop! Florian had done it. Max stood with all four wheels on solid ground once more. He was wet, covered with mud and coughing hoarsely through his exhaust, but he was out. He wasn't stuck anymore. "Thunder and lightning!" shouted Farmer Klaus, and he blew the spark plugs dry. But Max kept coughing. But then he said, "Thank you, Florian. I will be your friend. I'm sorry for being mean to you." And they lived happily ever after. He was a bit mean, old Tractor Max, wasn't he? Yes. Do you like that? It's time for me to look in my magic mirror now. I hope you're going to be there today with a smile. I'll have a look now. Romper, bomper, stomper, boo. Tell me, tell me, tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today, have all my friends had fun at play? There's Natasha, and I can see Yvonne and George, and there's Max and Hilda. Heidi's there, so's Ollie and Andy, and there's Luke and Matthew, there's Julie and Sue. Hello, Marianne. Sonia, can you see me? I can see you. There's William and Janine, and there's Danny and Mark and Brett and Steve, and Sean's there, so's Lucy and Laverne, Valerie as well, and there's Stuart and Malcolm and Ashley and you. And I'll look for you all next time too in the Romper Room School.
The Romper Room is presented by Channel 7 in association with Fremantle International each Monday to Friday. Tune in again at 10 o'clock tomorrow.